What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We are back with another Musume video. And as you guys can see, we have Tokai Teio on the screen. I just thought we're right before the CM. A few days before the CM, right? Just a few more days before the CM, or a couple more days before the CM. And since it's Friday, I thought, you know what? Why not give Teio a try? I thought it wouldn't be appropriate if I didn't give Teio a shot, right? Even though obviously she's best in medium distance. That is her this preferred distance. I think I can still make it work, right? So here we are, Tokai Teio, the original one. Original outfit, not the second outfit. As for the setup, I was debating on just trying a setup with it was close to this setup. Basically what I was thinking of was just using my almond eye card, just because instead of using my Duramente or Still in Love card, which who should I guess I'm just gonna stick with this. I was thinking that I'll probably use my almond eye card just to see, you know, even though yeah, oh look, I'll basically have 4 cards that are not max limit broke. I just wanted to see how it's gonna do, but if I do want to see the best possible, I should no, I think Wise will be okay. I think Wise will be okay. So I'm just gonna go roll with this setup. So 2 speed cards, Narita Brian, Dormente, or yeah, we'll go with Narita Brian and Doramente, or yeah, we'll go with those 2. And then the 2 stamina cards, Super Creek, Air Shakur. The Wise card for this one, I am gonna try the Metro McQueen. I'm just gonna try it. Just gonna try it. And then the Speed Symboli group card. And that is gonna be the setup for this run. So as this is loading up the run and all that, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined the circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request to join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. Then after, head over to the comment section or to the Circle Request channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But that's gonna be it on that. Also, I already mentioned this in yesterday's video. I literally re-edited yesterday's video, or I guess Wednesday's video, to add that little bit just to let you guys know. But if you but once again, I'm just gonna say it again. Yeah, I had everything uploaded, scheduled, and all that, so I was like, okay, I'm cool for I don't have to worry about the video for the rest of the day. I had it uploaded probably an hour before, like up by an hour before I usually uploaded the scheduled time. And so I just went on with my day. Next thing you know, I usually randomly check the video to see if any comments have been posted at least once, maybe twice, just because before I record a video, one would be like earlier in the night, and then the second would be a little bit later or closer to the recording time, just to see if any has been more and all that. Sometimes I would. For the most part, I would just check off the right here, right now, as I'm recording. But those are one of the nights where I just wanted to just check, because I was on my phone, checked it out, and I was like, wait, why is it still the Dormente video? I checked and it just said drafted. I was like, what the heck? I swear I scheduled it. And so that's what happened. Don't know why it happened, but that's what happened. So it is what it is. I did think about posting it regardless of it being like at when I noticed it was like at night. I thought about it and I was like, it's fine. I'll still record for it. And a part of me was like, nah, I'll just keep the same video. And so here we are now. I did do some extra runs though, like I said I would have. I'm pretty sure I did mention that I was gonna do extra runs instead. So I don't know. I did end up getting a UD7 Aguri cap. I don't know if that was that. No, I don't think it was that Aguri cap because it was I think it was pretty bad, the one from the video, and then I think it was an extra training. I think it was an off-camera training. It was a UD7, so I guess it can be usable if I want it to be. If I want it to be. But yeah. I don't think I had any other Umas that did decent like Aguri. So like I tried Orferv again. It was alright. And that was pretty much I was just pretty much bouncing between Orferv and Cap. And if you're still wondering why I'm still going for Orferv, even though I technically have a usable one, is because I can probably train a better one. That's why. That's pretty much why. But I think this would be a perfect time to start going over the comments. So the first comment is gonna be from Nova. Just one comment. And it says, well, first things first, since it is from Nova, I want to say welcome back, Nova. I felt like this trip felt a little longer. I don't know. Than last time, at least. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. That's just me. But it says, hey man, I'm back from Taiwan. Once again, welcome back. I'll be spamming more in the future. Looking forward to it. And Tanoki says, Nova back, Pog. Pog indeed. Thank you, Nova, for the comment. Welcome back again. And thank you, Tanoki, for replying. Next comment is from Eugen, and it says, what global server? Is that a food? I don't even know what is that all about. Neither do I. It's apparently it's there, or gonna be there, apparently. Apparently. I don't know. Global's global. If it happens, it happens, which I feel like it'll still happen. I just don't think it'll... I just hope that side games don't have high expectations for global. And that's already a bad sign for me to say that. I already explained my piece on global, so I'll most likely mention it again sometime in the future, so I'll not say it again because it's I said it like in the past 2 videos at the very least. Did we unlock dates? We did. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Sure. Other than that, thank you, Eugen, for the comment. Appreciate it as always. And the last couple comments are gonna be from Tanoki. First one says, I know about a dozen people who put off JP for EN, and another 4 to 5 who have stopped playing JP after EN was announced. Most of them joined maybe plus or minus 3 months from me and maybe played twice a week or so. They always had one eye on EN coming out. And I think that was the problem. They were still waiting for EN to coming out. At least, that's what I think. And so they just got stuck waiting. From what it seems. From what it seems. I don't know. I already said my side on this multiple times. Like, if you're gonna drop JP for the global version, knowing there's a 4+ year gap, maybe even gonna be 5, we don't even know. It's just weird. It's just weird. Because you take the time to learn, play the game. Sure, that's good. That's cool and all, but at the same time, it's like you're gonna drop I've said this. You're gonna drop the updated version of the game for basically the version 1 of the game. And me personally, I feel like that will maybe have an effect to how some people might feel when they start the game after, you know, remembering how if they remember how JP feels at the very least. They're gonna be like, oh, where's this? Where's that? You know? So that's just the only thing. Like, dropping JP for global, I would say at least give global a shot, but keep playing JP. See how you feel about global. If you feel like you're gonna keep playing global, sure, drop JP then. That's at least you were able to still keep up your JP account while waiting for the global to have that comparison. Plus, you don't know how long the wait is. But I guess dropping it does kind of make sense at the same time, because it's one less thing you have to worry about if you plan on playing the game more than 2 times a week, I guess. I don't know. But my stance is always just play Uma now, to be honest. I agree. Most of the game's complexity is not due to the language barrier anyway. And I do agree. Although it is the main example that I use, or the main first example I use when saying why people probably won't play the JP to give it a shot and all that. It's just generally from what I think, at least, is if someone is trying to do something but they don't understand anything what's going on, they're probably most likely not going to try. So that's why that's generally my first example. The biggest hurdle is learning just learning the game without having it being in your language. Obviously, the easy solution is just search for it, how to play online. And either that or just mess around, learn what's what by yourself. It'll probably work out. It'll probably work out. I've done it with a couple of JP games where I just tootled around the menu, clicked everything I can. I was like, okay, now I know where things are. And the more I just kept messing around with the game, eventually nothing became questionable. I knew where everything was. At least that's how I see it. I just feel like people just don't want to give if they get past the not so hard part of the language barrier. It's just basically giving the time and the patience to learn the game, which, in my opinion, would probably take a good week to like get a good some kind of handle towards game. From there, I think you'll be fine. My personal opinion, of course. Some people always cite the stories, but I have never been a story reader in game that much. Gacha game stories aren't my thing. If we're talking about gacha game story specifically, just to be more specific, because it sounds like that's what you're trying to go towards. For the most part, it depends on the game for me. If it's more of a story-based driven game, obviously that's what I'm here for. Plus, I generally do enjoy single-player story games, whatever the JRPG or whatever they are. just story games in general. I do tend to enjoy them. But for gacha games, it depends. If they're more story-driven or more focused on combat. Or if I'm interested or not. So, perfect example of me being into the story would be like the Hoyo games and Wuthering Waves. A perfect example of me not being into it is Uma. And the reason why it's the most obvious example for me to put out there is because I can't understand what I'm what I'm reading here. If you want to read the story, I get why that's probably what's your main focus for the game. But what are you gonna do after story? You just have your normal training and whenever a new event comes out. But if that's what they have if that's where they find enjoyment, then ooh, all's good. All is good. Uma can definitely have bait banners. All the select 2 support banners, 8 Uma banners, 2 star banners, and that 1 banner where there are no rate up, but you can choose. All Umas are universally considered bait banners. They can 100% invent creative ways around. Sorry, I'm just trying to pick my next move. Using those banners to extract a spark or 2 from easily tempted players. And I'm gonna continue on because it seems like it's a continuation. And I'll just give a full-on a full-on response instead. But let me see what would I want to pick out first. Pick out blue. It'll just match with pink. I'll just hope to get more pink later. It's fine. Why would more bait banners make free-to-play players stop playing? Do we have a different definition of bait banners? Bait banners are defined as banners that often appear right before a major banner meant only to siphon your resources. It is also usually fairly clear to everyone that you shouldn't pull for these banners. But it sounds like a Google searched answer. So I'm sorry if it wasn't, but it sounds like it. If anything, these banners are the golden ticket for free-to-play players or dolphins to take a breather between the power creep. Well, here's the thing. First, I'll just start with the beginning. I agree. You're definitely right. I don't think we have a different definition in bait banners. I think for me, I'm just more lenient in Uma. Or I don't really pay no attention to the because like I said, I never really considered any banners to be a bait banner in Uma. And that's my perspective personally, because for me, when it comes to Uma, like I said yesterday, did I say that yesterday or whenever? I said it. When it comes down to the characters, you're either pulling for characters you want or the meta characters. And for the most part, you're not going to know who's getting released. So, like, can we really predict when it comes down to Uma, especially for us being in JP? So for us, I feel like it just comes down to if when the character gets released, people say it's going to be meta, or if we like that character and we want to pull for it. At least that's how I see one of the characters. And like I said, it all comes down, for me, the bait banners are more important towards the support card banners. You're not wrong. I do agree that the rate up for the 2 select support and the 8 select Umas, and I guess the painfully obvious 2-star banner as bait banners, as they are, as a 2-star banner, for some odd reason they want to release it before the anniversary. But I feel like that change is just due to the fact that they know people just won't pull. So I feel like, with me at least thinking that, they've considered that people won't pull. People won't pull on the banner before, so they probably just did that. So I feel like they're aware that people won't pull when they feel like they won't pull, at least in Uma, at least. As for my point of view, for like the 2 support cards and the 8 Umas, to me they're by choice. Yes, they can be considered bait for those who have missed out on the card and want, and obviously tempt them to pull for it, or for those who didn't finish max limit breaking it. Obviously, I'm just not going to talk on the Uma side. It's going to be more on the support banners. But I guess for me, it's like, if I don't end up max limit breaking a certain card, for example, like my Still in Love card, I'm just gonna work on it over time. Sure, there's, you could say, a time limit to how long I can use them, but I've pushed my Kita card to basically until now. I could say, like, if I can go back to it, I probably would still go back to it, regardless. But I think it depends how you see whether or not you pull on these rate up banners, where you can select the characters and all that, or the support and have the 8 Uma banners. I say it's by choice, obviously. If you choose to pull, then I guess they got you then, right? If you want to, if they're considered bait banners. So yeah. And the reason why I'm so lenient with Uma is because I feel like and like, compared to the other gacha games, it's not as, at least I feel that Side Games is not really trying to push out these bait banners. I really feel like they don't, which is why it sounds like I'm pretty lenient about it. But in other games, like Koyo games specifically, they'll just push it to your face and be like, pull for this character, so damn good. All right, we're gonna pull for this character. Next character, even more broken character. But the problem is, we don't know future characters unless, like, from whatever, I guess, gets leaked. But it's not going to be like the completed, but we're going to get like some general idea of what their kit is, probably. And like, I don't know, I feel like in the other games outside of Uma, I feel like people, free-to-play players, I feel like are more affected in other games compared to Uma. Because Uma, I feel, like I said, I feel like it's, from the whole time I've played Uma, I feel like they just been pretty much releasing everything like on a similar schedule every year. That's how I've felt like throughout the 4 years. Like every year has been pretty similar. The biggest change that they've done obviously was the scenario change every 4 months, and then the not so big change, the more like they realize that we're most likely not pulling before anniversary change would be the 2-star banner before. But throughout the years, it's more like, for me, it's been more like, do I want to pull at this time? Or do I just not pull? It's never really been a, oh, I have to get this or anything. Otherwise, all the missed pulls, I would have been totally disappointed. But no, just moved on. Keep using the characters I have, and I'm all good. Oh, and keep using my support cards that I have. But that's just my mindset at the very least. At the very least. So, if you talk about the other games, people complaining that, oh, we can't use the older characters. We need the newer characters to pull. Obviously, in these other games, people are probably a little bit more um at least based by my own experience. I'm more mindful on how much I put down for a specific character, which is field of training. Just because I'm worried that maybe the next character I want to pull for, which for the most part I do pull for. But for those who, and for the most part, a lot of these characters, you can make them last. You can use them for the longest. It all just depends on your upkeep of the team and their equipment, I guess I would say. But a lot of these people who complain probably just don't want to do that or all that. Or it's those people who save by not pulling on a specific character that was good because they're waiting for a different character to get released in the future, misses out on this, and then later on blames on the fact that that they keep releasing characters that they feel like they need to pull. They don't have enough currency to pull. Yada yada. They just keep complaining. Can't beat content without said character and all that. When they're absolutely just wrong. So yeah, for me, it's just like, for this, like, from what I've seen in other games, at the very least, bait banners hurt a lot. Even though it's gonna be pretty obvious, like the timing is obvious. If we're talking about obvious timings, like the anniversaries and all that, I'm not gonna talk about those. But like actual banners, that bait banners that take place like in the middle, in between certain, like in between big events, where things have been chill for a bit, suddenly, like, you chill for like a patch, so like 2 phase middle for that, we'll say like a month or 2, finally releasing a character that you feel like you want to pull forward, but then you still have in mind that there's a possibility that the next character can be better than this character. It's just a whole, and that's why a lot of people complain in like the Hoyo games and all that, because they make it feel like you have to pull for these characters, and then next thing you know, people who don't pull for it have FOMO, and I'm just like so yeah, maybe that's why it sounds like I have a different point of view, but I think I just put my other game, my feelings of bait banners in other games to how I said it. And Uma, I really honestly don't to me, I really don't feel the pressure from the bait banners. If anything, I feel like the biggest bait in Uma is whether or not you're gonna pull for a character or not, in between you saving. That's it. Or if they actually do release like a support card, which I feel like the next one they'll probably release is Golden Week, which is coming up really soon. So I won't be surprised if they do release one for Golden Week. So yeah. When did I say what was Golden Week? Like, was it like the end of April, pretty much? I can search it again. It's fine. It's fine. Golden Week, Japan. Yeah, the end of the month. Which gets me curious. I would say Golden Week last year was pretty much when the Narita Taishin card got released. So we'll probably get another card. We'll probably get another card by Golden Week. Is basically what I'm saying. So like these are more like obvious. So like the obvious ones, it's hard for me to consider them because they're just obviously before celebrations. But like the 2 support ones and the 8 Uma banners, yeah. But only only if it actually works. Because by then it's by choice. And I don't blame you if you pull for a character that if the character that you want is there, go for it. If that's really what you want. I'm not gonna blame you for pulling for a character you want. Or if you wanted to complete your support card that you're missing like another card or so, but just know that's a currency, your resources going away. The reason why I say like this is because I know there's people who there's gonna be those free-to-play players who actually do get tempted by these banners and all that. So I'm kind of just going like a little, trying to be in the middle about it. Like I know there are people, free-to-play players that actually do do watch their polls and all that. I know there are free-to-play players, basically the ones who complain that they can't beat content because they don't have certain things. So that's just what I think. But I don't think we have a different definition in bait banners. I just think I just sounded a little more lenient when I was talking about the Uma side. But I also trickled over my feelings for bait banners outside of Uma. At least for me, bait banners, like I said, outside of Uma, I feel like it's just way more tempting. Because this could be like a character that's like stupidly broken that you possibly missed out on because you pulled on a bait banner. And then so they will most likely, well, they don't necessarily, they just have reruns. So based on the timing of these reruns, yeah, they can hurt too. They can hurt too. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And then lastly, I guess, yeah, lastly, CM prep has been awful. Either RNG fails you on the stamp. That's true. Sometimes I feel like my RNG on the stamp right now is pretty bad. I'm not like, there's only a certain few that I would pick, but for the most part, I'm just my stamps are kind of like the okay ones that I would pick if the ones that that are the better ones that have not appeared. So I'm kind of having that same situation right now. Or the long S or horrific skill inheritance, and when finally everything aligns, you realize your cards have not fully chained by 3rd year inherit. Don't we all know that pain? At least we all should know that pain, right? So you slowly and dreadfully play out the rest, hoping they all finish until Speed Dream's first chain event pops up and you're like, first? Yup. Yup. Maybe just Almond Eye and Amazon then. But the only thing that appears is Speed Dream's second chain to tickle your balls and it's White 3. Year 3, month 11. Yeah. Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes it be like that. And then please just Amazon for Imminent Shadow, but the run just ends and you see a stat behemoth that lacks 5 whole gold skills. Yeah, those are the worst, where you have good stats, but you're lacking skills. Those suck. Those definitely suck. And then, so, how's the prep for the May League of Heroes? Haven't even started. Haven't even started because I'm just here trying to improve my CM team, pretty much. That's all I'm doing. When is the League of Heroes? Obviously May. Oh no, not when. What distance is it again? Is what I meant to say. Really, we failed that. Okay, whatever. I don't think Teio's gonna make the minimum stats I like. I don't think so. But let me just check here on this side. When the League of Heroes is... Or not when, but I might as well see it because it's medium distance. Ooh, 2000. Does that mean I can use my Agnes Tachyon? But like I haven't used her in a while. Where is this Agnes Tachyon? Let me take a look. Medium distance races. It wasn't that one. It was her evolution skill that I should look at. Yeah. And 2000-meter races. All right. League of Heroes, we have one for sure character I'm going to train, and that is going to be Agnes Tachyon. Because medium distance also, Teio. We're going to try and bring Teio. We're going to try and bring... The usual peoples are still going to make a comeback. Gentle Donna. Just majority of them are gonna be pretty much. I won't know who I want to use. I'll probably just end up training a different Uma every video, and whoever gets a good training is the one I bring. I think that might be the case for the League of Heroes this time. Might go for sure on Agnes Tachyon though, because I feel like that'll be like the only time I use her. Obviously, I can use her outside at 2000. I'm medium 2000 meters, but I feel it's fine. I'll be fine with just, you know, if I just use her there, it's fine. Now, overall impression as of the stats right now. Well, I guess, am I getting any more stats? As of right now, speed is not as high as I want it to be. Stamina is not as high as I want it to be. The other stats, totally fine. I feel like they'll be able to make it to 1200. If not, they were just a couple off for the most part. If speed was higher and stamina was a little bit higher, yes. That's my overall thought of the run so far. But yeah, League of Heroes, I'm not going to think about it until... I mean, I could think about it soon. I'm just trying to have the best possible for the CM, so that's what I'm doing. Focusing on the CM. But with that being said, that is pretty much it for all the comments. Thank you, Tanoki, Eugen, and Nova for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. And Nova, once again, welcome back. Well, welcome back. But this could have been a pretty good run if speed was a little bit higher. If it was at least at 1800, but it won't be able to reach 1800 from where it's at right now. So yeah, it's definitely not going to reach 1800. It's not even going to reach 1700 if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, we're in medium distance and I did not. Okay. I'm gonna try it all. I don't think I'm gonna win if I don't pick skills. I totally forgot that I was gonna do that it was gonna be medium distance because it was Teio, and because I got used to training Cap. She ends up in Mile. So yeah, I don't think my Teio is gonna win without me picking skills. At the very least, because sometimes my Orfev barely wins when I train her. And unfortunately, we lost. It's like I said. It's like I said. Because it's been like this since Scenario 1, the World Finals. If I don't win the final race, it feels like I messed up the whole scenario. And it still stands until now. It still stands now. Because I swear, because I got 43 there for the non-max one. I swear you can get like 80 or 85 from that. So I feel like there is a difference. And that's the reason why I feel like winning the last race has always been important and still is. Yeah, because I know that goes up to 85 or 80. I seen it go up to 80, 85. I feel like if you lose the last one, you get half, or I think you get half of what you were supposed to get, or possibly less. I don't know. That's why I felt like. That's why I felt like when it was mentioned. I believe it was Tanoki when Tanoki mentioned that even if you lose that race, it's the same. I don't get the same amount. I lost that race. I got 45. I believe I got 80. 85. What are my stats? Unless they had already made it. Because then it would have been cut down in half. I don't know. I don't know. I just know it's a less number if I... A less number if either you've already passed 1200. So maybe I did pass 1200. I just didn't see the numbers because I was looking... I think I was looking around, but... I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I feel like... it's just how I felt the whole time. So... It's just me. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. And don't mind me picking like all these other skills. I'm not using this Teio. I'm not using this Teio. Unfortunately, I got an S on not only leader, but also long distance. So it's unfortunate because I would have been cool with the stats if speed was a little bit higher and as well as stamina. At least 1800 speed. Any extra from that is a plus, obviously. I don't know. It's a UD still. Barely. Literally barely a UD. Barely a UD. Maybe. Maybe it'll give a lot. Long distance? No. Not as much. Then I'll probably just keep it as that. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a random McQueen off-camera training. But ended off with 1664 speed. Like I said, it wasn't going to make it a 1700. 1333 stamina. I want at least 1500 at the very least. I know I can hit it. Power and guts, I think 1200 is fine. Highest I would want it would be 1300. Obviously, they would have been higher or closer to 1300 if both stamina and power were, or not power, speed were higher. And wise is fine the way it is. 1200 is totally fine with this. If I didn't want it, if I wasn't to get it at 1200, 1100 at the very least. So what can I say? The stats were alright. For the most part, just a little bit better on 2 more. It would have been better, but with that being said, that is going to be the end of this video, guys. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know your plans for the weekend, what you guys are going to be doing. If y'all are content, settled with your CM teams, or if you guys are still training, let me know down in the comments. If there's anything else you want to talk about or ask me, and I say it all the time, it doesn't have to be Uma related. It could be any other anime or anything of the sorts. As long as it's appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined the circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It's called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request to join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or the circle requests channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But is there anything else? I don't think so. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. Have a good weekend. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
君はどうせ君だよ。